All right. Well, we're back here again. Uh, it just seems like, the same old story. We keep being told that a deal is close, an announcement will be soon, and we're back to square one. It's almost like the movie Groundhog Day when you wake up every day and it just keeps repeating itself. Well, this is how these negotiations have gone between Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. And everybody wants to play the blame game. And if you complain about what's going on right now, if you talk about how Hearn should have never said anything in the first place till the deal was in place, then you get called negative. Then people tell you, oh, you don't want the fight to happen and you're being pessimistic and you need to be optimistic. But once again, like I tell everybody else, I live in the real world. Okay. I don't go into a bank and ask for a loan and say, hey, man, I'm optimistic that I'm going to pay you. Is that good enough? No. I don't walk into a car dealership and say, hey, I want to buy that car. And I'm optimistic that I'll have the money for you. I just don't have it now. But I will have the money for you very soon. The world just does not work on hope, faith, optimism. Okay? It's just not how the world works. And all the people out there that just want to be told what they want to hear. And Eddie's telling you what you want to hear. But yet, nothing's being delivered. So Bob Arum came out the other day and he spoke with Dan Raphael, who wrote an article for Boxing Scene, and he put some of the quotes that he got from Bob Arum during their interview. And, he asked him, so what's going on with Fury and Joshua? And he said, well, maybe we'll breathe some life into Wilder or Fury. And Fury will fight Wilder, and Joshua will fight WBO mandatory challenger Usyk. That's what he told Dan Raphael. Right? And then Arum went on to say this. He said, Eddie Hearn is busy trying to sell the London Bridge. And he said, let me tell you, last time I talked to Eddie was early last week, and he said he was going to have a signed agreement from the Saudis in 24 hours. Well, he's a little late. Wouldn't you be pessimistic if you hadn't heard anything from him or anybody for a week? We're the promoter with Frank Warren of Fury, and we haven't heard from Eddie in a week. Hearn has said he secured a $150 million site fee from a group in Saudi Arabia that would pick up one of the 3 dates: July 24th, July 31st, August 7th, to put the fight on at a site of their choice in the country. Arum said that he was told the likely site would be a new indoor stadium in Jeddah, although he is now not sure the deal will push through. Arum has been long skeptical of offers from overseas, typically telling reporters when the topic is broached about a major fight, I'm not packing my bags yet. So, he was asked again about it on Monday, and Arum said, my bags are still not packed. So he said, we got a document, and they say it wasn't binding. We said it has to be binding, and we haven't heard back from them. It says in the paperwork, this is not a binding agreement, Arum said. So Eddie sent me the draft, but it was not a binding agreement. It was supposed to be turned into a binding agreement 24 hours. And Frank and I haven't spoken to Eddie since. He's gone radio silence. If there's no Fury-Joshua fight, Wilder is the logical next opponent for Fury because Wilder and his team believe that Fury still owes them a third fight. So Aram also went on to say the arbitration is going on, but it's just a waste of time and money, Aram said. Okay. So let's get to the bottom of this. Everyone's sitting there saying, well, why is Eddie doing all the work? Why is Eddie doing all the work? Blah, 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 blah. I'll tell you why. Because Aram doesn't want to waste his time. And neither does Frank Warren. Because Aram has had a history of people making offers from Dubai and the Middle East, only to have the offers fall through. So Aram, to me, in my opinion, I just don't think Aram is really excited about putting this fight on during this pandemic. I honestly believe that they'd rather put it in that Las Vegas Raiders stadium where they could charge friggin' crazy prices for ringside seats. And then they could put it on pay-per-view here in America where it would be on prime time instead of having to, watch a pay-per-view at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. People can watch it at 8, 9 o'clock at night like they normally would. That's what I think Aram wants. And I think Aram is willing to do the fight in Saudi, but he's not going to put any effort into bending over backwards to try to get the fight made because he's had offers from these groups before, only to have them fall through. And it looks like for whatever reason, there's something going on. There's some sort of issue or issues going on that is not allowing this fight to happen. Okay? There's no binding agreement. And again, this is all about COVID. This isn't about anybody hating anybody. It's not about anybody not wanting the fight to happen. It's dealing with the reality of the situation. Okay? It's dealing with the reality of the situation. You can't keep telling people week after week. And now Eddie Hearn's saying, well, I don't want to say anything anymore because I know I keep telling you it's going to be close and I haven't delivered. Even he's saying he hasn't delivered. Even he doesn't want to talk about details now. Even he doesn't want to say anything now because he doesn't want to put his foot in his mouth. And this is no knock on him. He just played this wrong. He played this one all wrong. Because there's something holding this fight up, some issue going on. I don't know if it's with Saudi. I don't know if it's with Aram. I don't know if it's with Fury. I don't know. Again, I'm not going to sit there and speculate now. Oh, well, Fury doesn't want the fight. Again, nobody knows what's going on behind the scenes. So let's stop pretending we do. Let's stop speculating. One thing we do know is that there are issues going on behind the scenes, or this fight would have been announced. Something's holding this fight up. Okay? Something's preventing Eddie Hearn from finalizing this deal with the Saudis. Something's going on. Something's going on. Then Eddie was asked about the $150 million. He couldn't confirm it. He didn't confirm it. Everyone just floats these numbers out. And then when Eddie Hearn gets in front of a camera and he's on the mic, what does he do when he's asked? Oh, I can't confirm that. I don't want to answer that. I don't want to talk about that. But yet, the clickbait headlines keep on a-coming. I've called up Bob Arum several times and debunked several rumors. I don't know where you heard that from. Well, I heard it online. I don't know where they heard that from. Well, they said they got it from a source. I don't know what the source was they got. Again, but Beeb is the hater. Beeb's the one making phone calls, doing the research, getting the information, but Beeb's the hater. Beeb doesn't want the fight to happen. Nobody wants the fight to happen. Listen, I'm never going to be a billionaire. That's the reality of the situation. Does that mean I hate billionaires? Does that mean I don't want to become one? I'm never going to be able to go on a date with Halle Berry and spend the night with her. Does that mean I don't want to? It's just the reality of the situation. That's just the reality of the situation. I'm never going to play in the NBA. Does that mean I hate the NBA and I hate NBA players? No, it's the reality of the situation. So the reality of this situation is we've been told for almost 4 to 5 months now that this fight is close to happening and it still hasn't happened. But yet, Beebs, be optimistic, be optimistic. What the fuck do I have to be optimistic about? Come on. You know what I mean? You guys, I just don't understand it. Like, boxing has the most weird fans in the world, the most ridiculous fans in the world. We're supposed to automatically now have hope and dreams now. That's what everything's about now. Oh, I hope this is going to happen. I hope this is going to happen. I'm optimistic this is going to happen. That's not how the fucking world works. That's not how the world works. Stay positive about what? They're already floating Wilder's name out there. They're already talking about other opponents. That's not a good sign. It's not a good sign. It's not a good sign. We know how these things work. These things are never easy. A fight like this, when you have two sides who are going to be jockeying back and forth, looking for leverage, it's never easy. We know this. It's much easier when you have a clear A side and a clear B side. Whenever you don't have a clear A side and a clear B side in a situation like this, these fights take forever. Hagler chased Leonard around for years. He was expecting to fight Leonard in 1984. The fight didn't happen until 1987. Lewis was supposed to fight Tyson back in back in like 1999. The fight didn't happen until 2003, 2004, I think. I think it was 2003. Right? We all know the Mayweather-Pacquiao thing. Even the Canelo-Golovkin thing went on for about 2 years. These things take time. And then what we do, we have to play the game of whose fault it is, who's ducking who. The same old fucking bull. You never learn. You guys never learn. You do what they want you to do. They want you to do this so you can keep talking about the fight and keep building the fight up. And meanwhile, it's nobody's fault. It's the reality of the situation. You have two entities right now jockeying for position, and now you still have this COVID thing is not done and over with yet. Okay? It's not done and over with yet. Just not. The only places in the United States now that are really going all out with events is Texas and Florida. Everywhere else is virtually you can't do anything. Now you got people who don't want to get vaccinated. That's going to slow down things. There's a lot of people that don't want to get vaccinated. That's going to be an issue. Here in the East Coast, Massachusetts, still a lot of restrictions. Can't do a lot of things, right? People can't fly. Can't leave the country, really. Can't do that, right? I think everyone's saying, well, why is Eddie doing all the work? Because Arum doesn't want to waste his time on something that he doesn't feel 100% confident that can be done. Arum knows the challenges right now of putting on a fight of this magnitude. He knows it. He knows that it would be ridiculous to not put this fight in front of as many people as he could, or put it in an area where he can get the most money out of it, which would be that Raiders Stadium. That's where this. If you want to really maximize the revenue of this fight, you put it in the Raiders Stadium. If you really want to maximize the U.S. pay-per-view buys, you have the fight on prime time in America, so the fight can do 2 million pay-per-view buys at $80 a pop, maybe $100 a pop, $90, whatever they're going to charge for it. They could charge $80 a pop for this, and people, excuse me, wow, people will buy it. All right. Now, will people buy it at 1 o'clock in the afternoon on a Saturday? Don't think so. I don't think so. I just don't. So once again, Arum knows the challenges of this fight has. Now, he's banking on if the Saudis do come through, that the money they put up for the site fee will cover the losses or the lost revenue of not having it in Raiders Stadium or not having in the pay-per-view in prime time. I just don't see how someone's going to want to watch this fight in Saudi watch a fight at 5 o'clock. So if this card starts at 1, main event will probably go off at about 4:30ish. About 4:30ish. I just don't think a lot of people are going to be watching. They're going to be watching in the summertime when kids are going to be out, parents are going to have be out with their kids, or the kids are going to be involved in sports leagues and stuff like that. I know Eric's kids play soccer or whatever. I just don't think it's optimum to have this fight on at the main event on at 4:30 in the afternoon. I just don't. But I'm down with it. I'll watch it. But I'm just telling you what's going through Aram's mind, what's going through Frank Warren's mind, what's going through friggin' everyone's mind that's involved in this fight. Maybe even Eddie's thinking about this as well. I don't know. But I don't even think Eddie cares about the money as much in this event. I think he just wants to have the accomplishment, saying that he was part of this historic fight. The other guys, Aram doesn't care about shit like that. He's already been involved in the biggest fight in the history of the sport of boxing, Pacquiao Mayweather. Nothing's going to have to top that. This is Hearns Mayweather Pacquiao moment. This is his moment. That's his Pacquiao Mayweather moment. He wants it. Aram's been there and done that. He's not looking for the glory anymore. He's all about the money now. All right? He's all about the money now. And everyone, Hearns doing all the work because, again, Aram is too smart to waste his time on a pipe dream offer if he knows it's not going to work. He's been burned too many times. He's had these offers come in, these promises from these Middle Eastern countries, and they've all fallen through in the past. Same thing with the Crawford bullshit with Pacquiao. Another Middle East offer that didn't work out. Oh, what about Ruiz versus Joshua too? That wasn't that was a good event, but it wasn't really that wasn't on the level of this. Wasn't even on the level of Wilder Fury 2. It was a decent event. It wasn't the highest grossing fight of the year. I don't care how many pay-per-views it sold in the UK. Still didn't outsell in terms of revenue. It didn't generate more revenue than Fury Wilder 2. Did it? What's up, Lion Kill? How you doing? Maybe I'll let you jump on. If you want to jump on, I'll send you an invite. Let you on if you want to come on. Hear what you have to say about this. Yeah, this is bullshit, bro. This is bullshit. No, Aram said his bags aren't packed. That's not true. Again, we're gonna go with the bull crap. All you got to do is look on Forbes' highest paid boxers for 2020. Wilder, Fury are ahead of Joshua. That's all you have to do. Didn't say it, bro. He said his bags are not packed. Again, we're dealing with fantasy. Fantasy gets you blocked. See you later.
Exit the traffic circle onto Altamir Drive.
Fantasy gets people blocked. We're dealing in reality. We're not dealing with optimism. We're not dealing with hopes and dreams. What's up, Lion? What's going on, buddy?
Nothing much, man. Just working. How are you, bro?
Well, I'm dealing in reality, and everyone else is dealing in the bizarre. They're in the bizarro world right now.
Well, I'm kind of beyond the BS these days, man. I'm tired of it.
So
I'm tired of it.
We're just supposed to ignore the fact that we've been told this fight is closed for like 4 or 5 months now, and nothing's happened. But we're just supposed to ignore it. Just just put our faith and hope and dreams and be optimists and stuff. Like this wouldn't bother anybody. This wouldn't bother. I guess he dropped off. That's fine. This is like normal to be told something like that. Oh, he's back.
Sorry about that.
No, I got you back.
Pressing the wrong button, man. I'm driving and doing this shit.
No, that's all right. So, I mean, I don't know if you heard the story with Aram saying that he was supposed to get the offer 24 hours ago, and that was told to him like about a week ago.
Yeah, he used the term radio silence with Eddie Hearn.
Yeah, I mean, and then you hear Frank Warren come out today being on YouTube saying that they haven't received a binding offer yet. There's something going on that's preventing this fight from happening. And Eddie doesn't want to say anything about it. This COVID shit is for real. This COVID shit is for real. It really is. It really is.
It sounds like whoever Eddie's backers are not straight shooters, man.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what it sounds like to me. So regardless, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying it sounds like they're not really for real. There's something that that he's not telling us about these guys.
Well, you know what I say at this point where I'm at. If it ain't happening, I'm not talking about it.
That's right.
Because there's nothing to talk about. I don't like hypotheticals, bro. I don't like hypothetical fights. I have divorced myself from getting into these young and restless drama situations that boxing puts us in. It's just like today, I was talking about the Floyd Mayweather Logan Paul situation. Yep. And I implore people, do not let this man scam you for money. Because it's a scam. Boxing has reduced itself to scamming fans, giving you as little as possible and making as much money as they can. Listen, that's the truth.
I'm 100% with you about not counting another man's pockets, but I'm listening to Canelo on an interview today. This dude's buying gas stations in Mexico. He's buying properties in Mexico. He's opening businesses up. He's not even retired yet, and this guy's planning for his future. He's saying his investments are netting him $1.6 million a month.
And that's a smart move because your boy Floyd buys $18 million watches with his money.
I mean,
and he has a harem. He has a harem that's sucking on dry. I don't know how many women he has, but listen, the only people I know that have harems are usually wealthy beyond count.
That's right.
You really need that type of money to keep that many women on the payroll. I'm just really, really, truly sick and tired of the outside antics of boxing, man. I can't. I mean, it gives people something to talk about, but there's nothing. All I see is one sport killing boxing as far as intrigue, fights, the things that we're supposed to be worried about. And boxing is not giving us anything we need, anything we want. You know, the one shining spot to me this whole year will be Jamal Charlo versus Castano. Jamel Charlo. That'll be the shining. That's a unification. That's what boxing is supposed to be.
What do you think?
Great competition. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
What do you think of this Canelo Billy Joe Saunders fight? I don't think it's going to be that competitive. What do you think?
I'm not any fight where Canelo's not fighting the best guys. I'm not interested in. I've never felt Billy Joe Saunders was that good. So I'm not interested in a fight. I want him to fight the guys that give him potentially the most problems, because that's what being great is, overcoming obstacles, not maneuvering yourself to be in the best position to win a fight. I want challenges. This is how I feel. You know, people can disagree and all they want. I've been. My dad started showing me how to box at like 3. I've been in the sport. I mean, nearly 40 years. I mean, come on, man. I know when a guy. It seems like today's era is all about, you know, advantageous matchups, not about challenges, not about great fights, but you know, pretty much predictable outcomes. That's all boxing is for me right now. And I don't want to come on and get on that type of soapbox, bro. But when you ask me the question, this is what's coming out.
Well, again, like the media is just feeding all of this BS, though, right?
Of course.
And the problem too is you have the cults, you have the surrogates, you have the PR people, and for what now we even have people that like Hearn has like this cult, and anytime you question Hearn or you criticize, like you got fans that are rooting for promoters now instead of fighters.
You're right.
And
You're
this
right.
is ridiculous. Like, oh, Al Heyman has fans now, and Eddie Hearn has fans. Like back in the day, promoters never had fans.
I mean, it's crazy. The promotions are more solid than the boxes when it comes to fan participation. We might as well start calling Hearnites and Al Heyman's guys Heymanites, whatever,
Well,
because that's really what it is.
There's a Twitter account called the Heymanites on Twitter right now. It's called the Heymanites.
Wow, that's seriously.
So if I get frustrated with Hearn, that he keeps telling me that this fight is almost done, and he's been telling me this for about 4 months now. Oh, I'm a hater. Oh, you just don't want the fight to happen. I mean, that like, does that make any sense?
Well, man, Joe, you and me we're of a bygone generation where constructive criticism is looked at as devastating. And so that's why it's called hating. You know, but these are honest questions. I have money. You have money. We buy these fights. We have disposable income. We should and do have a say in what we watch. We do.
Yeah.
And even though some of these models from these promotional companies like the PBC don't follow a pay-per-view model, their model is actually based on network advertising paying them versus actual pay-per-view numbers. That's why they overshoot their pay-per-view numbers to make it look good, because that's not a focal point of their dynamic. So there's too many people talking about the business of boxing don't know shit about it. There's too many entities in media that are just agitating or are peddling gossip. But when you strip it all away, there's nothing concrete going on in the sport of boxing. I mean, you tell me, because I don't know. I don't know any great fight. I know that Areola and Ruiz fight this coming Saturday. Who's gonna pay for that?
That's a bad fight.
Who's gonna fucking pay for that? Not me.
Yeah.
Shit, I'd rather watch fucking Beatles fight over shit.
Yeah.
Dung Beatles.
Let me.
I'll play. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Let me let H Money's on. He's on the line right now. I'm gonna let him get in here. H, what's up, brother?
Yo, what's good? Shout out to my boy, the Ringside Reporter. Shout out to Lion Killer Podcast, World Breaker. What's good, y'all? How y'all feeling?
Good, man.
I'm solid.
So what do you think, man? You think this fight's gonna happen with Joshua Fury, or you think we're being BS'd here?
We might be getting bamboozled right now, to be honest with you, Joe. I think Eddie Hearn, we got to really start pointing the finger at Eddie Hearn right about now. Bob Arum in the past giving us the biggest fights in the history of boxing. Bob Arum just gave us Teofimo Lopez versus Lomachenko on free television. Okay, what has Eddie Hearn been doing in the sport of boxing? The biggest fight he ever made was was Anthony Joshua and Vladimir Klitschko, who was out the ring for 18 months, and he was pretty much washed up at that time. We know Bob Arum just gave us Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder. Bob Arum is a Hall of Fame promoter. Now, Eddie Hearn, he hasn't been delivering. If you look at his track record in America, what's the biggest fights he put on? Anthony Joshua versus Andy Ruiz, who was a 5-week he got the fight on a 5-week notice, or was it Canelo versus Daniel Jacobs? Eddie Hearn, he hasn't been successful in America. I wouldn't say the zone has been successful, and I'm Mr. The Zone. At the end of the day, Tyson Fury has fought the top guys. He's beat 2 #1 heavyweights in boxing. Vladimir Klitschko, when he was undefeated for 11 years, a champion for 7 straight years, and Tyson Fury dethroned him, or when he knocked out Deontay Wilder, who was the #1 heavyweight in the world. At the end of the day, I know Tyson Fury is going to be in a big fight, even if it's AJ, if that fight happens, or if it's a trilogy with Deontay Wilder. Tyson Fury will be in a big fight while Anthony Joshua is on the sidelines watching. That's what I think, Joe.
I agree. I think it's going to be wild. I think it's going to be Wilder. It's going to be Wilder Fury 3. That's what I think is going to happen.
That's what I think too. And AJ going to be on the sidelines watching once again while the 2 top guys in the division fight it out. And when is AJ going to be in there with one of these guys? Now, I looked at AJ's career, and I noticed that he's been a favorite in every fight of his career. Every fight, he was the favorite. Tyson Fury shocked the world twice.
3 times.
You know what I mean? I think
3 times.
Okay. Well, the first fight with Wilder, you count that one too?
Yeah. So it was draw.
Okay.
He didn't lose it.
I thought he won that fight too. So I'm still waiting for AJ to fight the top guy in the division, bro. Fury did it twice. When is AJ gonna do it, bro? That's all.
No, I agree, man. I agree. I mean, I just think that this whole problem stemmed from Eddie Hearn saying this fight was close for the last 8 weeks. It was wrong. It was wrong. I just think it was wrong.
Yeah, he spoke too soon. That was premature of Eddie Hearn to do that. And he still haven't delivered the big fight in the sport of boxing that we all want, which is the undisputed fight, man. You know what I mean? So I appreciate you, ringside reporter. Man, you're doing a hell of a job. Appreciate you, man. Shout out to JC and Rob87 in the chat, my brothers, man. Love you guys. Man. Peace.
All right, peace out, brother. I'll catch you. Yeah, man, I don't know what else to say, man. I'm just getting tired of being – well, I'm not tired of being called a hater, because that's – anytime you tell somebody something they don't want to hear, you're a hater, you're a liar, you're this, you're that. But guys like Mike Coppinger can lie to you all they want. Eddie Hearn can make you promises and not keep them, but you don't care. But you just keep believing it and believing it and believing it. Fight's not going to happen, guys. The fight's not happening in the summertime. It's just not happening. It's just not happening. It's the wrong time for this fight. Just the wrong time. I just don't think this fight's going to happen in the summertime. Possibly it could happen at the end of the year. I don't think this fight's going to happen this year. I'm just being honest. I'm sorry. I want to be wrong, but I don't think I'm going to be wrong here. I don't think this fight, and I've been saying it all along, I don't think this fight's going to happen this year. I just don't. I just don't think it's going to happen this year. Boxing's no one's keeping boxing alive right now, bro. No one's keeping boxing alive right now. Nobody. That PBC schedule's okay. It's not the greatest. There's a couple of good fights on there. There's about 5 fights on there. Out of those 9 fights, there's only 4 of them that I really like. So, again, boxing's shooting itself in the foot more often than not, man. Nah. The Paul brothers are keeping boxing alive right now, to be honest with you. The Paul brothers. H, you want to come back on? Oh, I thought you were done.
No, I'm back, bro. I'm sorry. I forgot to talk about Deontay Wilder training with Malik Scott, somebody that he actually fought and had a fixed fight with. And I don't respect it, to be honest with you. Out of all these trainers in the sport of boxing, you got Hall of Fame trainers available. The Freddie Roaches of the world. Floyd Mayweather reached out to you. George Foreman. And you come with Malik Scott, somebody who's never even trained a fighter before, somebody that you had a fixed fight with. I know you remember when Deontay Wilder fought Malik Scott, he knocked him out with a punch that he didn't even land.
Fixed fight. Took a
yeah.
dive. Payoff.
He took a dive. Yes, and that's it. Turns out that's his best friend and his new trainer. It's bullshit. After a whole year of Wilder making excuses and lying to the fight fans, he comes back, with Malik Scott. Malik Scott can't teach Wilder anything, bro. You know what I mean? Malik Scott, he was nothing as a fighter. If you look on his Instagram, Malik Scott is busy partying, getting high, getting drunk, doing nonsense, bro. Wilder, it took him a whole year to start training. A whole year of making excuses and hiding. I don't respect what Deontay Wilder is doing. And if he thinks he can go into a Tyson Fury trilogy with Malik Scott, he's going to get smoked. Tyson Fury's going to dominate him again. He fired Mark Breland for no reason. And that was unfortunate, man. What do you think about Deontay Wilder, new trainer Malik Scott? What's your thoughts on this? Do you think that was a good hire?
Well, let me ask you a question. Why do you think he's there in the first place? Do you think Wilder really wants to have someone in his corner that's going to be a disciplinarian and it's going to tell him things that he doesn't want to hear? What does Wilder always do? What does he do? He puts people in his corner that are yes men, like JDs. JDs will do whatever he wants to do. They'll do, JDs. If Wilder tells JDs to jump off a bridge, which JD's going to do? He's going to jump off a bridge. Same thing with Malik Scott. If he was able to get Malik Scott to take a dive for him in the fight, then basically Wilder, by Malik Scott being the trainer, and this, I'm just going to be honest, I have nothing against Malik Scott as a person, but I'm just telling you right now, Wilder's going to be running his own training. That's what he wants. He don't want to, there's a lot of things Wilder doesn't do. He doesn't do a lot of conditioning work. All he wants to do is basically hit pads and stuff and hit the backs. You don't really see him. I've heard things about him in his training camp. He doesn't do a lot of things. Does what he wants to do. That's what he does. So the reason why Malik Scott is the trainer is because he's going to be a yes man, just like JD's. That's all.
That's sad. He doesn't want to get any better. Like you said, he doesn't want a trainer in there that's going to push him and teach him the sweet science. He doesn't want to learn. He doesn't want to learn anything. Keep Malik Scott there, like you said, who's a yes man, who won't teach him anything. Let him do whatever he wants to do. And that's what Wilder wants, bro. It's unfortunate that we had all these Wilder fanboys who've been in the game, the boxing game, for years. People are over 50 years old making excuses for Wilder and lying on Tyson Fury. These guys doing police work. You know what I mean? Trying to frame Tyson Fury, make him look like a criminal. It's unfortunate that Wilder couldn't take his loss like a man, B. Couldn't take his loss like a man. The fighter that you promote, Vito Melanicki Jr., 18 years old, he took his loss like a man. You didn't hear Vito at 18 make any excuses. Right. It's unfortunate, man. And that's pretty much what I wanted to say. And one more thing about, I want to talk about Anthony Joshua real quick. Now, how Anthony Joshua got beat by Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz, who never even beat a top 10 heavyweight, came at another week's notice and knocked out Anthony Joshua. Tyson Fury is on a different level than an Anthony Joshua, bro. He's a superior boxer. Tyson Fury is big, strong, fast, elusive, and he's getting better and better with his new trainer, Sugar Hill, who's teaching him how to increase his power, teaching him how to sit down on his punches, man. And we waiting for Anthony Joshua to step it up in competition, man. You beat a lot of guys that you were supposed to beat. People talk about AJ, he beat Povetkin. Povetkin was 40 years old, man. He was 40 years old. When AJ beat Dylan White, Dylan White was a prospect. They were both prospects at that time. You keep looking at the further down in the resume, he beat Charles Martin. Deontay Wilder beat Bermane Stiverne. Wilder doesn't get any credit for a Stiverne win, but why does AJ get credit for beating a vacant champion in Charles Martin? You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, people say AJ, he got the best resume. He beat everybody that he was supposed to beat, bro. Every time he stepped foot in the ring, he was the favorite. Tyson Fury shocked the world as the underdog against Klitschko, as the underdog against Deontay Wilder twice. So AJ still hasn't done it. You know, he could beat all these guys, you know, from the Povetkin's, Dylan White when he was a prospect. You know what I mean? He beat a whole bunch of guys that he was supposed to beat. When is AJ going to beat somebody like a Tyson Fury? When is he going to challenge himself and fight a Deontay Wilder? I haven't seen it. Eddie Hearn didn't deliver, bro. You're doing a great job speaking the truth, B. Keep it up, man. Thank you, bro. One more time.
Right,
Just wanted to thank you, bro.
No problem. No problem. All right. So yeah, guys, I mean, I just can't come on there and tell you everything you want to hear, man. You can call me a hater all you want. You can say I'm being negative. I'm just telling the truth. This fight ain't happening. It's just not happening. I just don't think this fight's happening. And I hope I'm wrong. I want to come on here and say, I want to come on here tomorrow and tell you guys, hey, man, I want to come on here tomorrow and tell you guys, hey, man, I was way wrong on this. The fight's happening. I want the fight to be announced. But listen, Aram told you. He was supposed to have a binding contract drawn up and sent over to him by Eddie Hearn. Hasn't been sent over. Hasn't been sent over. Doing good, man. Thank you. Thank you, young Merv. Haven't seen you in a while. How you doing, buddy? So yeah, I mean, it's a shame, bro. It's a shame. But people are going to believe what they want to believe. Fight's not happening, man. It's not happening this year. Even Derek Chisora came out and said he doesn't think this fight's happening this year. He just doesn't think it's happening. Fight's not happening. 72 hours? Yeah, I thought it was 24 hours. Now it's 72 hours. Then it's going to be a week. Again, I just don't know. I don't know how long this is going to keep going on, guys. I don't know how long you're going to, we're supposed to be tolerant of this BS. I just don't know. I don't know. All right, guys, I'm out of here, man. I ain't got much more left to say about this. Beeb is out. Talk to y'all soon. Peace out. Have a great day. Take care, baby. Be good.